you. What is up, everybody? It is moi, Rage Cage 23. Today, we are here with the end of our two pieces. Finally, at the end of our two pieces. Took about a month and a half, 2 months instead of 1 month. But you know what? Hey, that's better than I would have expected. We are here with Nightwish, the last of the two piecers. Of course, we'll be interrupted by one more Jonathan Young. Almost done with Jonathan Young's 2015 stuff. Very interesting, very interesting. Today we have Harvest. Looking up the potential meaning of Harvest, it was stated that this song kind of encompasses the theme of the album itself, but also life, which I think it meant literally as, you know, harvest with crops and stuff like that. But also the first annotation here in Genius suggests that when it says "my harvest will come," it's also talking about, you know, the life and death cycle of humans in general. Like, my death will come eventually, my harvest will come. So that sounds exciting. That sounds interesting. I was reminded something, because this is only the fourth song in this album. And the first two, I was just like, man, really positive. And Nightwish fans have turned around their toxicity a little bit. And then I got to the live one. I was like, there's where it was all hiding, right there. So it reminded me not to do live Nightwish stuff. So official lyric videos continuing throughout the rest of this album and into the future. Sorry, y'all, just can't help but fuck it up. But it's okay. I understand. Nightwish fans are just the most toxic fan base in the entire history of fans, and I get that. You know, it's just, you can't help who you are, and I understand completely. So we're going to thoroughly enjoy this video. I am sure. I've loved everything I've heard so far. It's been amazing, as is Nightwish staple, so I'm sure this will be no different. I'm sure I'm going to be doing tons of writing, which I am always excited to do. So let's not waste any more time. Let's bring it on down here, and let's get to it. Nightwish Harvest official lyric video. Let's go.
My harvest will come, tiny valorous straw, among the millions facing to the sun. I will pause before a man whose path has just begun. Something unsung away comes. The quaternary code gave mankind a rose, so we could see the beautiful die. Strange piece of stone hovers over crops, and a child's face aglow before the scythe. Join the harvest of 100 fields, hearty and tame, all going back to one single grain. Offer light to the coming day, inspire a child. Water the fields, surrender to the earth. Water the fields, surrender to the earth. Water the fields, surrender to the earth. They have beauty beyond the poetry, but choose a silent misery. The deeper their sea, the less remains. They'll find the pretty words and tame flocks to herd. There's that or a carousal of dead. Join the harvest of 100 fields, hearty and tame, all going back to one single grain. Offer light to the coming day, inspire a child. Water the fields, surrender to the earth. Water the fields, surrender to the earth.
Oh god. She looks angry. Flora looks so angry. Or just really intense. Hold on one second. Okay. Whew. Wow. That was fascinating, to say the least. I do remember seeing the live show that we did for Shoemaker, the virtual world thumbnail for this song. And I did see Troy singing in it. It appeared that he was singing in it. You know, it's a still picture, so one can assume that that's what he was doing, was singing. So I remembered that Troy was going to play a singing part in it. I did not know he was going to be primarily the singer. Now, obviously, Flora joined him in certain sections, as well as, I want to say, Marco. And I'm throwing a wager here because I'm pretty sure Tomas has been credited in singing a little bit as well. I want to say I heard another voice that might have been his, or maybe someone else, maybe within the band or with outside the band. But I feel like I heard another male voice that wasn't Troy. It could have been Marco, but I don't know. Maybe not. But at least 3 voices minimum throughout there, with Troy being the primary, was not what I thought we were gonna get in this one. I was pretty sure it was gonna be pretty floor dominant, as most of these songs are. So that's a very interesting shakeup. That's very cool. Also, the way it started off, you know, I'll hold nothing back on this channel, so prepare your anger and hatred now, I guess. It's not even that big of a statement, but like, if you well, actually, it's only if you speak out against Floor. They don't seem, you could probably shit on anyone else in the band, they don't seem to care that much, but it's really Floor. It's weird cult like obsession y'all got. But I don't know. Troy, I think he's really strong of a harmonizing, supporting singer. Him solo wasn't like my favorite thing. Especially since there wasn't a whole lot of tonality in what was happening supporting wise, instrumentally and everything, and it was just kind of him bare out there with very interesting drumming, and like, it seemed to be a lot of missing, potentially just because there was no like tonal center established yet from what happened instrumentally, that this could be the case. But also felt like there was no real like strong tonality. It was almost like he was singing, until it's like, then you could occasionally hear a note and some tonality break out in his voice. It's like, okay, there's some tone there, which in a theming setting, that was really cool, because it made me think of 2 things. Like, it made me think of, and again, I'm sure this is intentional, but made me think of, like, you know, maybe farmers or just people going about work on the land or just exploring the land that maybe aren't the strongest singers, singing while they work or while exploring or just out in the woods or whatnot. So there's some tonal center to it, but it's not like the cleanest singing that you expect from like a professional group or anything. It also really gave me this like Lord of the Rings vibe, like one of the songs that they would just sing while traveling or something. Kind of gave me that, to where it's like they're not the strongest singers, but like is like this cool folksy like song tale thing. So like thematically really fucking cool. Musically it was just like, okay, this is alright, this is happening. Alright. But then as the song continued and there's again more tonality and everything that was happening around Troy, helped improve his vocals a lot. as well as having the other two plus vocalists, join in on him, create this really cool kind of like almost like community choir like singing in a sense, kind of like a bunch of people work in the fields all singing together and whatnot. Kind of gave that community vibe to it, which again was like really cool, and also improved the tonality greatly of the song. And it's like that's when it started like to come alive. So there's a lot of really really cool stuff like that was going down. It also gave me this like crazy Disney vibe, but we'll get there when we get there. Yeah, some really really cool stuff. A lot of things, just one after the other, that happened throughout there. Love the drums in the beginning, very primal, um, very again kind of like small like tribal community kind of sound to it. I feel like I heard this like low horn come in there, whatnot, which is really cool. Then Troy started singing. A lot of people joined. There was this really cool slide on the vocals. Just a lot of stuff just started happening one after the other and just kind of kept going throughout the whole song, as is the MO for a Nightwish song. Just, if you sit down and start breaking down everything that's happening and start focusing on every little sound that comes in and out and everything that they're doing and it all piling on top of each other, that's just how it goes with a Nightwish song, man. Like, Tomas's writing is on to that fucking level. And, really cool. Not what I expected to get, but I liked it. I liked what I heard. I like what I experienced throughout all the very gorgeous, beautiful imagery and everything like that. One thing that did catch my attention, and it's weird that there's no annotation, because maybe it was just like everyone thought it was like super straightforward. I don't know, but I feel like there's a like double meanings in here. The one that they kept repeating every time they said it, they would at least repeat it once. But there's one time they repeated it like 2 times. It was like 3 times in a row. Water the field, surrender to the earth. Like, obviously, water the field. Obviously, just, water your crops so they grow. But that being added to surrender to the earth and then repeating it again and again, really driving the message home, made me feel that water the field had a different meaning. That went hand in hand, coincided with surrender to the earth, going back to the beginning of when your time is end, you return back to that which you came from. You surrender to the earth. You surrender back to the earth. You're buried into there, and so maybe you're kind of being placed and they're watering your return back to the earth, something like that. You know what I mean? I feel like there was a deep meaning and there was a reason they kept drilling that line in again and again, and that really stood out to me. I was like, that's really cool. Anyways, yeah, a lot of very interesting stuff here. Let's me swoop back to the beginning. Let's get into this bad boy. Okay, so what is everything I said from the beginning? Literally, it was one thing after another. So it was like, there's no reason to really put a timestamp until we got to 1 minute and 15 seconds in. So for the first minute of the song, what do I have down here? Drums. I want to check out those drums. It's very interesting drums. And low horn. Put a question mark on horn. I want to check out if that was actually some kind of horn or not, if I can discern that. Troy started, plus people joining them that slide up. I want to check the acoustic guitar coming in with that very extremely stringy, very very busy sound that guitar had in general, and then with them all singing together, getting this like crazy, like kind of Disney, like maybe something on like a Frozen level, but with less snow, more like harvest and stuff, kind of some kind of like newer Disney kind of melody of like a start of a movie, a whole group singing together, introducing the kind of the area which is being lived in kind of song. Really gave me that crazy Disney vibes there. Um, then saw the one of the male lines that joined in, which I guess was Marco's. It was really, really bassy, low notes, and then like I think everything cut off except for the vocals at one point. So all of that I want to check out within the first minute here. A lot of stuff just piling on top of each other. So let's bring them back down here. And let's see how fast we can get through this and or not. Right out the gate, these drums. Yeah. When I was talking about the Disney, the community introducing the group, in which one of my thoughts did go to Moana. But I was like, that one has a little bit of a different sound. But now listening to these drums again, getting a Moana feel again, just kind of getting that very, very tribal like, kind of small village community like sound just comes screaming back. But it also has this peppiness to it. It kind of has this. It's not like it's not like war drums. It's not like some like dark sound to it. It all has this kind of light, energetic feel to it. Even a little bit of playfulness to it again, which makes me again think kind of like close to the Moana side, less than the dark harshness of the tundra of Frozen. There's that kind of that light airiness to it, which is really cool sound. And I love the repetitive nature of that. I like the different tones in there. That I can't tell if that's just some kind of produced sound or if that's some kind of like long didgeridoo like curved like horn or something. That's so fascinating. Like a war horn or something that you'd see again like Lord of the Rings or some shit. Like the thing that Gimli blows, but like a lower tone, a much longer tube and whatnot.
My harvest will come, tiny valorous straw.
So again, we've had, besides that low note, we've had no tonality to the song. Now, I guess not no. There's little pitches from the drums and whatnot, but we haven't had any strings, any woodwinds, any brass, anything that really establishes a tonal center or pitch, besides just some different tunings to drums being hit. So the first few notes that Troy comes in with, well, I do hear a tone in there, because there's been nothing establishing that theme, that tonality. It kind of sounds like he just comes out talking, da 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 da, and then you hear a da da da. You hear a little bit, and there's like, oh, okay, there is a tonal center to it, and it sounds like his first note was a little shaky at best. So it's like it's not a strong out the gate, but I think all this is extremely intentional. I don't think it's meant to be like what we would consider perfect singing. I feel like it's supposed to be like just your average farmer going about work and he's just singing a little ditty to him or herself. Like I feel like that's that's what it's supposed to be like. So it's not supposed to be perfect, and it's supposed to be more like just natural human like, which I can get behind that. I can't say it's my favorite singing that I've heard from Troy, but like with that in mind, I can really dig that. I can really get into that.
My harvest will come, tiny valorous straw, among the millions facing to the sun. I will pause before a man who whose path has just begun.
Dun, 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 dun. Again, getting some strong Lord of the Rings vibes here, which is really cool. I like that.
Something unsung awakens.
That part is so cool. First off, you clearly have a soft feminine voice, which I can only imagine is Floor's, that joins on top of there. I can even imagine another maybe harmonizing male voice or female voice. Maybe they even have another someone, or maybe Floor layered in there or something. I don't know. But you at least have one more voice that comes in there and creates that double layer, right? The first kind of real sense of tonality that we've gotten throughout this song. And that dun 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 dun, like glissando there at the end as they drop down on the pitch and then glissando it back up. That is fucking cool. So I wanna build into that. I wanna hear that again.
Pause before a man whose path has just begun. Something unsung awakens.
Ooh, and the way they kind of hold that out and just let it come. They really hold the placement of the s on that consonant. Come, where the consonant drops. They're holding the vowel, the vowel, and the consonant comes very at the end of the word, which is very cool. At the end of the note. It's just all of it. It sounds kind of like thrown together. Again, I mean that in the sense of like just someone going about their job just singing. Like there's no intent to be like, oh, I gotta sing perfectly like I'm in a performance. It's just kind of like you're just singing for fun, and what note comes out, and it's just to pass the time and whatnot. So it's got that feel to it, that haphazard feel to it, but at the same time there's this beautiful perfection feel to it as well, especially when you get Flora in there and that nice slide. There's like a beautiful combination of the two, and again it creates this kind of community just singing for fun kind of feel to it. And that da da da, how light and soft Flora's voice comes in there, and the beautiful harmony that's mixed with it just makes it feel like there's like 5 or 10 people coming to sing in at once. And I think I just hear 2 voices there. Again, there could be some more harmonies snuck in there that I'm just really not picking up, but it sounds like just 2 primary voices. But the way that Flora sings it just feels like there's just this chorus of people that join in for that one section and then drop back out. Again, the writing, the mixing, the way they put these songs together is just really nice. It's really cool. There's so many little intricacies that you can just sift through and pick out and just find the way they just do certain sections. It's just really cool. It's just, it's just Nightwish being Nightwish. It is what it is. So we still have like the two-stick guitar that's about to come in. The acoustic guitar that's about to come in. And just the purely the stringy, busy nature of it. Like it just sounds like someone's got an acoustic guitar and is just strumming the hell out of it, but like not like too loud and aggressive, but just getting every fucking string and just like lightly brushing the pick across it. Just very stringy, very 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 continuous, very busy, very stringy, but it's really cool acoustic sound that this guitar brings. It's very fascinating. Let me go back there. I want to hear that one time. It's so beautiful.
I will pause before a man whose path has just begun. Something unsung awakens. The quaternary code gave mankind a rose.
Yeah, it's very busy. But just the sound of the stringy sound of it makes me feel like either the strings are like really loose, so they're like vibrating all over the place, or it's just like barely touching, or maybe a specific type of pick, or like barely touching the pick to the string, just very loose strumming. It's such a fascinating acoustic sound there, and I really like the way it sounds. And it's kind of very soft, just kind of adding, not overpowering anything, just kind of adding to the sound.
The quaternary code gave mankind a rose so we could see the beautiful die.
Damn, that's fucking. I didn't catch that bar. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, so the quaternary code, which here in the annotation states that this context is talking about DNA made out of 4 nucleotides to encode information in quaternary code. I don't know nearly enough about biology and chemistry and physics and stuff to be able to face what that means, but it's something involving DNA, sure. Gave mankind a rose so we could see the beautiful die, which I think that obviously, you know, I have the picture of the rose here in general fading to black and whatnot. But again, I feel like that could also double meaning there, because the way just nature works in general, things blossom and grow and become beautiful only to wither and die and to be reborn. It's a constant state of decay and life, which both forms are beautiful, but one looks more beautiful than the other. But also gave mankind a rose so we could see the beautiful die. Not only could that be talking about the state of nature constantly dying and rebuilding itself in different states of beauty, but also human beings. So we could see the beautiful die. It could also be human beings dying and the beauty of humans that comes to an end, and the fact that life is beautiful because it ends. So many multiple meanings could be in that one bar alone. Like that's a deep fucking bar right there. Okay, back to the song. I got caught off. I got caught off guard by that bar. I did not see that in my perusings. Or remember that when watching it the first time. I was probably writing a fuckload of stuff down, but we're still waiting for that low tone, that low vocal tone to come in here. So let's listen to that.
Give mankind a rose so we could see the beautiful die. Strange piece of stone hovers over crops, and a child's face aglow before the side. Join the harvest of 100 fields.
That tone specifically. We're getting some more voices in here besides just what I believe is Troy and Floor working off of each other, maybe even layered multiple times, but it sounds like just them. I could be very long about that. It's hard to tell. There's so much happening in the music that it'd be really hard for me to pick that out. But we're getting some extra voices in that. The really low rumbly tone there is very beautiful. But excuse me while I caught another fucking one here. A child's face aglow before the scythe. Sounds dark. Anyways, let me hear these low tones here.
Before the scythe, join the harvest of 100.
Sorry to pause again, but I just remembered with the other part there, it happened at the same time as the low notes. Is probably why I put a plus there, right? Yeah. There wasn't even a plus. There's no comma, no nothing. It was just all attached low notes, and all the other sound drops off right here as you have all these multiple voices coming in to sing. That's really fucking cool.
Low before the scythe, join the harvest of 100 fields, hearty and tame, all going back to.
I love that low rumbly voice in there. That's such a good harmonizing line.
All going back to one single grain, offer light to the coming day, inspire a child, water the fields, surrender to the earth.
So there, I definitely get that communal singing vibe there. Just a lot of different voices all singing together. No instruments, no nothing. Just a bunch of people just singing. Really cool theming, really cool sound. Amazing harmonies there. They sound beautiful. They sound gorgeous. And And then when things come back in, it sounds like it breaks back down to just Troy, and we have some sound coming back in here, some instruments coming back in here. I don't think everything fully returns. I don't remember. Well, here's the first thing I have. When all that comes back in, it just drops back into Troy. We get to this bar I was talking about, water the field, surrender to the earth. Let's hear that transition again.
And tame, all going back to one single grain, off the light to the coming day, inspire.
First off, that da, 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 that I heard there from Floor's voice, that was a really cool harmony.
Single grain, off the light to the coming day, inspire.
That's cool.
A child, water the field, surrender to the earth.
Sounds like either strings or a keyboard, or both, and we get those drums back in. The drums feel a little bit heavier here on this line than the kind of peaceful happiness that was at the beginning. But yeah, it sounds like strings and or keyboard just just laying out these low chords coming out here. Very interesting.
Grain, off the light to the coming day, inspire a child, water the field, surrender to the earth, water the field, surrender to the earth.
Hearing two voices there. Very interesting harmony, two male voices. I don't know if it's Troy or if it's like Troy or Mark or something, but I do hear two male voices there. Cool harmony. I like how they're shaping up changing the way they shape this line. Sounds like certain notes / words get held a little bit longer, and then some are a little bit shorter to create this very stretch, pull and push kind of stretching and unstretching of the syllables and the words and whatnot kind of feel to it. But it feels like it changes where they're stressing certain words or lengthening certain words here, especially at the beginning there, water the field and whatnot. That's very interesting.
A child, water the field, surrender to the earth, water the field, surrender to the earth, water the field, surrender to the earth.
Interesting, kind of retardando there. So they're kind of putting the stresses in the same place. I feel like the duration changes slightly. Like the second one, I feel like you held out water even longer. The other two times it was a little bit shorter. And I feel like the duration on Earth is maybe similar once or twice, but another one I feel like you held it a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, something like that. A little bit playfulness there on the note durations for certain words and whatnot. But yeah, the fact that they honed that in 3 times, I feel like that, like it's really to hammer in that bar specifically, and I feel like there's some deeper meaning to that bar in general, what they want to have heard through those words. Very interesting.
Water the field, surrender to the earth.
Nice little chord there from both that wall that came in there, but also the da, that was hanging in there. Very nice chords. The next thing I have is at 2:12, which is the introduction to the violins, the piano, the acoustic guitars, and all this kind of stuff. That just more stuff just keeps building onto that. But I want to see if there's anything I noticed in between there. I think it goes back to another verse and whatnot from Troy, I want to say. But let's see if we find anything else that I missed the first time through.
They have beauty beyond the poetry, but choose a silent misery.
Nice. I mean, back to the acoustic guitar. It's not as loud as I feel it was the first time it entered, but it's still kind of just as busy. But piano chords coming in here. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, the introduction to the piano and whatnot. But that was attached to there. Yeah, the piano comes in here. It's nice with the beautiful, playful chords and notes chiming in every now and then. Very nice touches to the verse here.
Have beauty beyond the poetry, but choose a silent misery. The deeper the sea, the less remains.
Good chords there.
They'll find the pretty words and tame flocks to her.
So this is the kind of foundation of tonality that I would kind of expect to be accompanying with Troy at the beginning here to kind of establish, which I think would have made a cleaner introduction to the vocals when the vocals first came in. But again, I feel like that was intentionally not there on purpose for the reasons we already specified. But now that we're back into the second verse, it's like, okay, let's bring it in now that we've already established everything, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I like that, some cool chords here and there, but then it will play the vocal melody line along with the vocal line, and to kind of emphasize it, give this even more beautiful harmony and tonality to it, which is really cool.
They'll find the pretty words and tame flocks to hers. There's that sort of carousal of dare. Join the harvest of 100 fields, hearty and tame, all going back to one single grain. Offer light to the coming day, inspire a child.
Floyd's harmonies were different there. It kind of seemed like she was staying closer interval wise to what Troy was doing, and had some I want to say dissonant, but it was very close interval wise, that there was like a little bit of interesting rub in harmony there that made it very noticeable. It wasn't anything that clashed, it wasn't anything that created this dissonant rub, but it was like maybe a half step, a whole step away from that dissonant rub. So it was staying right on the border. So it was very pronounced. It was very, like, you could hear it very clearly, like pushing in to compete alongside with what Troy was doing. It was on the verge of a dissonant rub there, which is very fascinating. That's interesting. Oh, give me that again.
All going back to one single grain, offer light to the coming days.
It sounds like it's close interval wise with Troy's voice, but like an octave above that. So let's say maybe like a ninth, or I would guess maybe a ninth or 12th, maybe above what Troy was doing. So it was like right there, either rubbing at a second or just right in that almost dissonant spot of like a fourth, almost into a tritone kind of thing, but like an octave above what he's doing. Very fascinating, very, very interesting there.
Offer light to the coming day, inspire a child, water the fields, surrender to the earth, water the fields, surrender to the earth.
So what's interesting about this one, I believe they only say it twice here, but the first time to really drill it in, it was just Troy and male harmony. This one, yeah, the contrast of that female harmony in there, and there might even be more harmonies in there as well besides just the two, but it switches it up there, changes how it is, and only says it 2 times here, which is a very interesting change up to the first way, but also does repeat it to again really drill in that bar specifically. Very fascinating. Right, and here's where I wrote this in here. The violin. That violin coming in, which I think is about to come together with the piano and the acoustic guitar. I think that's all going to start to play together, do some very interesting melody stuff here. And then, again, bringing in that humanism of it all. Again, that community, the workers, everything that's going on here. Claps come in. Human music sounds. Of human interaction, these claps coming in, again bringing down to the base of human music would be vocals, what you can do with your vocal cords, and what sounds you can make with your own body. Really bringing it down to that base primal level here, which is really cool. So I love the introduction of the claps in there, and then all of a sudden the guitars come in. All of a sudden we get electric with it. The first time we bring in that electric guitar, the bass guitar. I think the Julian pipes come in. And later we get some more flute-like sound, but that comes around about 45 seconds from now. So we'll wait until that comes in. But yeah, all these different instruments and body percussion's about to come in. really cool sounds about to come in here. So let's back it up just a little bit. I love the start of the violin here. Yeah, really love that. First off, the energy, the motion, the rhythm of the acoustic guitar has this nice sound to it, which keeps everything kind of energetic and pushing. And then this beautiful melodic line from the piano. It kind of gives me, it kind of like something I would hear maybe like in like a mystery movie or something, like some kind of like slasher horror murder mystery kind of thing. Kind of gives me that vibe for some reason, but I think that's unrelated. That's just based off stuff I've heard from other songs. But like it has this nice sound to it. I love this beautiful instrumental breakdown section here. Nice energy to it. Claps coming in. So all those instruments that are happening there are all string and percussion based instruments. Obviously you have the acoustic guitar, no electricity needed, you just drum it and it makes a sound. Piano, you just have hammers hitting strings, you just push it, it happens. And it's not like a keyboard sound, it's just a straight up clean classic piano sound. You have human percussion, which is clapping and stuff. All this is very natural. That introduces, that starts off this section, and it's like an introduction into the push into here comes electricity, which we have not had throughout the entirety of this song. It's been all like very, again, kind of like primitive, like back in the 1500s before we had like electricity, right? Yes. You know, when you would, farm during the daylight and then would be in the house by candlelight at night, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a time before electricity. And then when everything breaks down and we have all those, again, non-electric instruments, all of a sudden we push into here comes electricity, and you have the guitars just blasting away. You have some deep rumbly low bass. It's just it's almost like it's making its presence known. It just comes out like aggressively electric and rumbly. And then we have this awesome, like, kind of taking the theme that was just being played by all the natural instruments and embellishing and working off of that, while also introducing the pipes and everything that come in here. And this is a really cool sound, a really cool transition. Keyboard comes in now, comes back in or something. I love some of the rhythm shakeups in here, some of the emphasizing of certain notes and stuff that happens in here. It creates this really cool rhythm and riff that's happening in this part. It's really cool. Awesome. This part, it sounds like a full string section comes in, not just like a violin, but actually some more strings and everything, like the whole kit and caboodle. We're talking viola, cello, the whole kit and caboodle. I think, at least. I don't know. That's my guess. And then we're about to go into what sounds like a flute. I'm thinking it might be, I don't remember the name of it, but that kind of almost like recorder like thing that Troy's played before. I want to say something like that. but yes, flute-like sound, very interesting. And then around 350, there's another kind of noticeable musical change that happens. So let's let it keep going, see if we can spot out anything else that happens here. Also sounds like there's some, it's also being played by the piano as well. But maybe like more keyboard sound than piano, but I don't know. There's that flute coming in. Dun, 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 dun. I love the playfulness of these instruments. The rhythm changes and the time signature changes in there. It just is very interesting. I love the writing of this. I love the way just kind of as they've done many times, but that very European feel to the sound. That just has this very lively, very dance-like nature to it, and you can just see the countryside when you kind of hear this kind of music and whatnot, and it just has this great energy and movement to it, and it just all sounds really cool. They do it a lot in Nightwish songs, but I love it every single time it happens because it's such an awesome sound. I love it. Let's come back in. I didn't even really think about this, but on these scenes, this is not the first time we've come back to a graveyard. And these graves and stuff are put out in the nature that we've been going through, and they're even overgrown with nature itself. Again, that theme in the beginning of returning back to the earth and our harvest coming, which is us passing on, is also visually placed out in the video as well. And I didn't even make that connection till right now. Very interesting. I love that chimey piano coming back in, echoing the rhythm of these pipes in here. Yes, and that one right there that I put in here. That's that kind of change that I was talking about musically when we changed to the, I want to say it's the Julian pipes, because I'm pretty sure that's the kind of pipes that Troy plays throughout most of these songs. I don't know if he changes it up at any point, but I'm just going to say pipes, and you insert whatever one it actually is. Plus the piano, kind of this change up, a little bit of riff, playing off of the theme and the riffs that we just came from, but like slightly different. Keeping up that energy and everything. That percussion hit right there, I don't know what it's called. I probably should know what it's called, but that I'm pretty sure it's the one that has like the block and the ball or something, and you hit it, it makes that kind of sound, that like rattling box, but also like almost like tambourine kind of rattle sound to it that just happened in here. Right there, that I can't make the sound. Kind of sounds like a snake. That kind of sound there. That's very interesting. Just random percussion hit in there, but I like it. That's so cool. So you have the piano going off in its own theme. You have the pipes going off, and then that like another melody line that just kind of interjects in between the two melody lines that they're doing. Is very clean writing in here. You have so many different moving parts that are feeding off of each other, kind of echoing each other, and then moving off in different directions, and then another one just kind of worms its way in there, like just showing the dominant writing of Thomas just in full effect here. So I imagine. Yeah, I mean, it does say that. I mean, sure, there's double meaning to this annotation. It's quite a large one about, during the harvest of 100 fields. Now, of course, we have tons of fields. This one specifically talks about different types of grass harvests, like wheat, bamboo, rice, corn, sugarcane. But I'm sure with all the with it being said, with this tombstone here, I'm sure that could also have a double meaning of of well, I just had another thought because it says at the end there the our taming of the crops that we use to grow our food is terrible for biodiversity and also leaves us at risk of mass crop extinction due to diseases such as what happened during the potato famine. So not only the chance for our harvests to die off and join back into the earth, but also with this tombstone here, join the harvest of 100 fields. If you go to a cemetery, what is it? It is a field of hundreds of tombstones, which can be seen as people joining the harvest, their life being harvested, and joining the 100 fields of other harvested crops, aka humans. I could use to see that being a double meaning to also the decay of our harvest nature, and sometimes when it doesn't work and nothing grows, and we're fucked during the harvest there, but also just fields in general and human fields, and I can see tons of meanings coming from this in general. However, the last three things I have, no, two things, is this vocal that comes in here. There's the interesting distant sound to it in general, but also that filter it sounds like it has over it. Really cool effect. I like that before everything kicks back off again. And then on the way out, around 5 minutes, last 10-13 seconds here, that motif returns. I believe I want to say I think it's the acoustic guitar, piano, maybe uilleann pipe riff, something like that, comes back in. That motif ends us out, which is really cool. But this introduction, this vocal, the vocals being introduced back in, and going back to the to the chorus for the last time. Very cool sound, very cool effect. I love the pickups to that. Join the. It does that both times. Back when it's just the echoey voice and in here. I love that pickup. It's really cool. Join the harvest of 100 fields, hearty and tame, all going back to one single grain. Offer light to the coming day, inspire a child. So, I mean, I've thought this like every time this has happened, I just haven't mentioned it, but all going back to one single grain, like again, returning to whence we came, to the single organism of, I guess it could be like nature or just the planet itself, like all no matter how wide we spread our harvest, humans and whatnot, we all inevitably return back to the one single grain of where we came from. So that, I feel like, is, again, double meaning. I'm sure there's a lot of intentions on that line in general. But offer light to the coming day, inspire a child. I assume it means as we pass on, offer light to the coming day, which the coming day is, our next of kin, or just, the next generation growing up. Offer, light, offer wisdom, guidance, etc., and inspire a child to continue on to do good and whatever inspiring thing you could think of in life. Like, these bars are pretty fucking deep, man. I'm sure there's multiple meanings to all of them. One thing that I keep hearing, repeating again and again and again in my ear, just kind of like underneath a lot of the other sounds of the guitars and the vocals and everything, is that don't coming in from the piano. There's a really cool repetitive piano line in here that just like it's chiming through everything and it sounds really cool. I really like that. A lot of the electric guitars and stuff here when we are going back through the chorus again kind of fell off. You get a lot more a treble sound from the cymbals here as well. There's a shift in an instrumental changed in this repeat of the chorus, so it's not done the same way, which is also really cool. I like that. All right, butting up on about an hour here, so we're almost done. And most of my Nightwish videos are, if not an hour, pretty close to it. So you should expect that. There's a lot to go through here and a lot to pick out, and I really enjoy it. But yeah, listen to the change up in the instrumentals here when they go back through the chorus. It's really nice to get a fresh new taste to the chorus, so it's not the same thing repeated twice. It's a really good choice. Coming day, inspire a child, water the field, surrender to the earth, join the harvest of 100 fields, hearty and tame, all going back to one single grain of the light. Nice change up to some of the notes and the harmonies here as well. The coming day, inspire a child, water the nice, beautiful string passage right there. Very interesting. The last few words here repeats, not the water the field part, but surrender to the earth. Almost as if telling you, like, you know, do it. Like, surrender to the earth, like give in or something like that. Maybe not give in and die or anything like that, but just, you know, just reminding you of where we're going to return or something like that, and that like it's okay or something like that. Could be reading into that. But then that part is kind of sounds like it's all the male, or at least some of the harmonies saying that, just kind of separated by himself, and then Troy comes in and ends with the last word like on top of that, arrive alive. I don't know what that means. I can make guesses to the symbolism of what that could mean, but like I don't know what that means. But while it sounds like what's said right before that, surrender to the earth, is kind of distant, that one's like right up in the front of the mix, and it's just purely Troy by himself. It's a very interesting effect there. The coming day, inspire a child, water the field, surrender to the earth, surrender to the So we have those nice downbeats on arrive alive, just the instruments dun dun dun. You even have that very standard end of a song blare from the brass section, and then it goes back into the with kind of that busyness from the piano there. That's fascinating. There's a guitar and piano. Yeah. And just ends. Very abrupt ending there. And that's the... I think that's the... I want to say that's the motif that happens around 115, 120, 125 in the song. That replaced there again at the end. Very interesting. Floor just looks angry. I know it's probably just intensity, but like, I don't know, there's some scariness in that face. Alrighty, well there you have it, Harvest. I mean, classic Nightwish song. Although I would say again, I mean, the ending, I don't know from a music standpoint, or the beginning, from a music standpoint, I don't know if I would say is like what I would think of as like, yeah, I want to listen to that again and again and again. But again, as from an artistic standpoint, point of view, looking at this song artistically and theme wise, it's really fucking cool. And just artistically, the song is really, really awesome. Do I think I'd listen to it like on tap, on repeat? Probably not. But like as a first, just to experience the song in general and just go through all of it, it was a very amazing experience, I would say, and very very fascinating, very exciting to just kind of experience the song as a musical experience. I would say it's like really, really cool. Really, really cool. There you go. Next we have Pan, which I caught the sentence that kind of describes this song, or Pan in general, which says, I think it's supposed to be about human imagination and the human creativity and whatnot. So it makes me think of Peter Pan, because in not the last album, the album before, and Storytime, or is it is either Storytime or I Want My Tears Back. They kind of reference Peter Pan a little bit, and there's elements of there of like yeah, Neverland. Yeah, I Am the Voice of Neverland. The something Pete of Peter Pan. So that is in there, and I would imagine I Want My Tears Back. It's just kind of like, where is all those like this fantasy and imagination gone and whatnot. So like they've kind of covered on that topic a little bit. And I assume this is going to be the expansion of that thought process and that idea to a higher extent. And so I would not be surprised if Pan stands for Peter Pan, as they have mentioned that at least once before, when it comes to creativity and innocence and just imagination of the young. So I would not be surprised in the slightest, but who knows? Who knows? So that is next, but before that we have some MJ, some Michael Jackson cover by Jonathan Young. We have Thriller. So it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. At the very least, it looks like Jonathan Young put a lot of heart and soul into it, so it should be at least a good time in general. So make sure you catch that. But if you're not interested, Pan's coming next after that. So come check that shit. So thank you all for joining me. Nightwish, as always, thank you for the musical experience and music. It is wonderful to go through and just experience and explore. So it's very much appreciated. Thank you. And I will see you all next time.